Hey there, welcome. This is Be the Boss of Your Money, and I'm your host, Mitch Goldberg. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. A live episode to teach you about personal finance, investing tips, business talk. We cover it all here, all relevant subjects to make you the boss of your money because it's very easy for your money to become the boss of you. But I want you to become the boss of your money, to become the best, to become your best possible version of your financial self. That means business and making money and investing, all those good things. I am so fascinated with the message in the market, and there's always a message in the market. I'm not saying it can't change, I'm not saying that it's etched in stone, but what I'm saying is there's a clear message right now that the market is telling us. It's telling us probably what's looking pretty obvious from all the polling, that Joe Biden is going to win the election. Now, I know some people are going to hoot and holler, and some people are going to go, yes. That's not what this is about. This is about the message of the market. How do we invest? How do we make adjustments to investments if necessary? And are there certain areas of the market like coal, clean energy, that sort of thing? Is it worth it to try to capitalize on certain areas of the market based on which political party is in power? That's what this is about. This is not cheerleading. I cheerlead for you. I don't cheerlead for any politician. Not on my show, baby. This is my show and it's your show. So, welcome. If you're watching this in the live stream, I would love to answer your questions. If you're watching in the replay, welcome to you as well. I would love to answer your questions too. So go ahead, hit me up in the comments for a question with your question, and I will definitely see that and get back to you. We're going to roll the intro, and then we're going to get into this. Here we go. And we're back. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Mitch Goldberg. You're watching my live stream podcast, Be the Boss of Your Money. We're talking about a quick market update and, more importantly, the message in the market about politics. Now, I know a lot of people cringe at the idea of talking about politics. I don't. I am not one of those people. I have plenty of really important things to cringe about, but not talking about the topic of the day. We are less than 3 weeks away from what is arguably the most important election maybe in the last 100 years, maybe more. It's a very important election. But the important thing is that we need to find the message in the market. We need to make sure that we are prepared. This is not about political cheerleading. This is about cheerleading for you and making sure you understand the climate, because I've been doing this a long time. I have a lot of perspective to share with you. So the first thing we do here is we do a quick share screen, and we're going to talk about, just real quick, we're going to fly through this, okay? So let's just give you a quick update in the market. You see the Dow continued its winning ways from a big day yesterday. Markets are at about their highest level in a month, not far from new highs for the S&P. We could see it soon, but the Dow is up over 100 points. S&P had a really good day, up almost 1%. NASDAQ had a pretty good day. Russell 2000 had the best day of all, had the best day yesterday. And we're seeing the VIX, that's that red one, the VIX go down. That's a good thing. So when you see that go down, don't be like, oh, there's something wrong. There's a fly in the ointment that ruined the day. It takes away from the joy. No, it doesn't do that at all. The VIX is down. I was trading close to 30, around 30, 29, and I said 25 is the number we need to see this get below. We're down to 26. Looks like we're heading lower. People are starting to feel more comfortable. Why are people feeling more comfortable? People are feeling more comfortable because of some certainty. And I'm just going to tell you what I'm reading, what I see is the message in the market, okay? The message is that not only does Biden win, but he wins by big enough of a margin that will remove uncertainty of who the president's going to be when we go to bed on November 3rd. We don't want to wait till December or January to see who the president is. So if there's a big enough of a margin, then that could remove a lot of the uncertainty surrounding the election. What investors don't want to see is a severely contested election or President Trump not stepping down if he does lose. He's thrown everything into this that he can. He does not want to lose. Maybe he is concerned about prosecutorial matters after. Regardless, nobody wants to see a contested election, and that's, I think, some of the uncertainty is coming out of the market and going into a landslide victory that will be convincing enough. It'll be convincing enough that we'll know who the president is. So that's one of the messages in the market, and that's why I think the market did well. Let's take a quick look at some of the sectors here. Share screen. Boom. Okay, so let's take a look at the FANG stocks. The FANG stocks had a mixed day. Facebook was up, Apple, Amazon, Netflix down, Google, Microsoft up. I'm going to say that these stocks are probably they're probably a little more up than they're up a little bit more than they're down. But nonetheless, these stocks are so big, they move the market around. It's really hard for the market to do much without solid leadership from these companies. So these were kind of a mixed bag. The market still managed to move a little higher without them. That's a big cause is because IBM had a big up day, and so did Boeing. These are big stocks in the S&P and the Dow. Let's keep going. Reopening stocks had a good day. American Airlines, UAL, Delta, Carnival was the one that was off a little bit. Norwegian Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean, Planet Fitness was up. Even Cinemark was up. Southwest was up. Marriott. So what you're seeing here right now is you're seeing a just a nice day from work from home stocks, stay at home stocks to the reopening stocks. Okay, so that's today. Sector ETFs, energy leading the way. This is odd. Energy is leading the way, and utilities are leading the way. I rarely see those two sectors leading the way. Usually, energy is more economically sensitive. Utilities is economically sensitive to the opposite direction. So we had a really mixed day, but mostly a good day in the market. All the sectors were up, including industrials, financials, et cetera. So overall, this tells you that today was a pretty solid day in the market, and energy had a pretty good day. Okay, so we're going to get into what I want to, the main topic here. First, we've got a couple of people out there. We've got a couple of comments out there. Hey, Nick Nielsen, I was finishing up some work and was going to turn on CNBC, but I thought what listening to Mitchell. But I thought listening to Mitchell's a lot better. Keep up the great work. Do you ever follow the Fear and Greed Index? Is that the VIX? Yes, I definitely follow the VIX. Is there another one? I'd like to know about it because I love following this stuff. And hey, Keith, yes, that is my doorbell. I am working from home at the moment. I really wish that didn't happen, but that's part of the issue of work from home and my family knows that at 4:30 I like to live stream, and my family should also know that they shouldn't be speaking on the phone near me or talking on speakerphone. But that's not really happening right now. It's not being observed. Okay, so hold on a second. Could you go upstairs, please? Is that better? Thank you very much. So anyway, yeah. So Keith, we have an illness in the home. My wife, I think it's okay to say, was diagnosed very recently with ovarian cancer. It's very serious. There's a lot going on here, and it just made sense for me to move my entire workstation from my office to my home here because there's a million medical visits. There will be surgeries, and we've got the kids at home, and we both agree that it's very important to see Dad home. So I'm going to be working from home for at least the next couple of months until we get through this. And I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. You're a good friend, Keith. And hey, Jerry, good to see you, my man. And Nick has the Fear and Greed Index from Money CNN. I'm gonna take a look at that. I'm really cool. Thank you, Keith. Mike Stewart is out there. Hey, man, Mike, thank you very, very much. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Just so you know that the this live stream is like one of the things that I do that keeps me going. I love this stuff, and it's I do this at 4:30, and it's one of those things that my day revolves around because it's hard to get out for things, and you kind of become unscheduled, and this is just something that I look forward to. And hey, Nick, thank you so much. Thank you. I mean that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Phil. Phil is out there. Phil in the house. Thank you very much, Phil, for joining me. You are such a good guy and friend. Okay, so let's get into the main topic of the day. The if you saw the thumbnail for this, it's 3 ETFs that predict who the next president's going to be. And again, I want to preface this. This isn't like one way or the other for me here. I'm just bringing you the message of the market, which I think it's fascinating. Even when you think stocks don't make sense, after a while, you look back and you go, wow, that move actually made sense, whatever it was. But the message of the market is this, and I know a lot of people like to avoid politics. To me, it's the elephant in the room. Like, as a financial advisor, I think it's important to bring it up, and how could this affect people? Because it's not just presidential politics. It's all of the policies that they bring with them. It's more than just tax and spend policies. It's social policies. There's a lot that's going on, and the political climate. I'm 53 years old, so I haven't seen that many presidential elections, but I've seen enough, and this is like, this is pretty bad. I miss the olden days before Facebook, before everybody knew who everybody was voting for. It used to be like a personal thing. You kept it to yourself. You didn't really talk about it much. But now it's like it's all out there. So okay, let's talk about this. 3 ETFs that predict that Biden wins, and wins by a meaningful amount, so there's not a severely contested election. And what do I mean by that is that if you take a look at these ETFs, I just want to preface this and say that you are welcome to go out and find your own investments or securities or ETFs that prove a point. I don't think you're going to find them. I think the media and the polling, et cetera, has been a steady drumbeat of Biden leading in the polls. And I do realize that surprises can happen. Anything can happen. And polls have known to be very, very wrong. Plus, we could get an election surprise. I mean, look what happened in the presidential election in 2016 with the Comey bombshell on Hillary Clinton, and that they're reopening the investigation into her emails. So you never know what's going to happen. But the election is only a few weeks away. It's definitely at the hold your breath moment. And, I'm not making bets. Like, I'm actually not taking client accounts and shifting them one way or another into more stocks or less stocks, or more bonds or more cash. What we're going on is just like all the other financial advisors that are on here today joining me, we're going by your own personal finance, your time horizon to when you'll need cash. We want to be as tax efficient as possible. We want to make sure you have your estate plan updated, your beneficiary designations updated. There's a lot more to it than investing, but because the market is it's such a reactive thing, and to me, a good teller of the moment, at least of what we can expect, that it's worth getting into. Okay, so here we go. I think I've had enough of the disclaimers and disclosures there to last for the next couple of years. So the ETFs I'm looking at are coal. The Van Eck Vector is coal ETF. ITA, that's the iShares U.S. Aerospace and Defense ETF. The iShares Global Clean Energy ETF. And TAN, that's the Invesco Solar Stock ETF. Now, the thinking goes like this. There are certain political parties that have a reputation for they have a reputation for benefiting certain sectors with a lot of largesse, with a lot of spending, And so you think, well, if Biden wins, we need to own clean energy, alternative energy. Um, and if Trump wins and the Republicans retain control of at least the Senate and the executive branch, it should benefit aerospace. Okay. And, it, you know, it important. It should benefit aerospace, and it should benefit coal. All right. So that's what we're going to take a look at. And the moves though have already been made. If you think like you should, hey, we should take a shot on clean energy because if Biden wins, or if let's say it's November 4th, fast forward to November 4th and say Biden if he won, you already missed the boat. And so let me show you more or less what I mean here, okay? I'm going to show you a chart. Whenever this chart comes up, and it's up. Pull this down a little bit. This isn't going to be so easy for you to see on your smartphone, so I'm going to make it a little bit, believe it or not, if I make this a little smaller, it'll be easier to see. Okay? So I'm going to show you a quick chart, and this really is very telling. You're not going to see this anywhere else, folks. It's just for us, for be the boss of your money. But you see this is a 1-year chart. You see this green over here, 219% gain in the last year. That is the solar stock ETF, TAN, up 219%. That's one hell of a gain, folks. We talk about lots of other big winners, but nobody's talking about that. So if Biden wins and you say, I want to buy solar stocks, for example, because, they have the Green New Deal, the green energy, whatever the green energy deal, it's already factored in. So you're going to buy that now when it's already up a lot. And then the one that's blue here is up 114%. I don't know if you could see that on your smartphone, but that's the iShares Clean Energy, the Global Clean Energy ETF, up 114%. And then down here you have the aerospace and defense industry down 20% in the last year, and coal down 43% in the last year. So if the market was predicting a Trump victory and a Republican sweep, you would, I think, see the opposite. You would see coal and aerospace and defense up a lot more. Now, aerospace and defense is also down a lot because of Boeing and their problems, but coal is not part of anything to do with the aerospace and defense industry. So we see coal down, and that's what I mean. So it's the market's an early predictor. It's already baking in the cake. What's the word I'm looking for, guys? It's already foretelling you, factoring in. That's the word. Factoring in the Biden win by pushing these particular sectors up so much. And if you take a look at iClean, that's the iShares Clean Energy ETF. I can definitely make this a little bigger. Okay. That iClean has gone from 8 to 21 and almost 22 and still holding its year high. Same with the Invesco, the solar energy stock ETF, from 21 to 77 and still holding its high. In the meantime, coal is not even close to being near its middle point, and neither is the iShares US Aerospace and Defense ETF. So if you look at how these sectors work and how you would expect certain political parties to spend on or benefit, certain sectors, then you would see that in advance, because this is being factored in advance of what a Biden victory could look like. And I know a lot of people get upset about this stuff or say it's all over. Look, a change in political power does not mean it's lights out. Everyone wants to use fear mongering that if the other side wins, it's lights out. What I'm telling you is that's never the case. What it really means is it just makes new winners and losers. It creates new opportunities. And this is what we have to be on the lookout for as investors. So that's really it. That's the message in the market. And this is the view, subject to change, but this is a snapshot of the message in the market that it's telling you right now. I've got my notes here. Just want to make sure I didn't leave anything out. No, that's really okay. So we could talk about the stimulus. I think I have like a minute left. So the stimulus, I think Trump is in a bind here because the Republicans tried to keep the stimulus smaller. Republicans tried to keep it smaller. The Democrats tried to get it up to a lot higher. The HEROES Act, I think, was originally over like 3.3 trillion, and I think now they're trying to make something in the twos. But then Trump said in a tweet a few days ago, it's negotiations are off until after the election. Nobody's going to want to work on a stimulus after the election, especially if you're out of a job. If Trump loses the election, he's not going to want to. Well, I can't say this for sure. I don't think he's going to want to give Biden a lot of momentum with a new stimulus heading into his new term. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but I think it's a little bit late. And even if a stimulus is passed literally tomorrow, with less than 3 weeks before the election, I think it's probably too late to change the course of the economy. And the whole point of doing the stimulus was to change the course of the economy. And if you're an incumbent, Democrat or Republican, you want things to be good so you could say to your voters, hey, look what I did for you. So please, give me a holler at the voting booth. So I think it was a mistake to not bet big for all political incumbents on a stimulus package. Okay. I'm getting a little wonky here. I'm going to go. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate all of you sticking around. Keith, I will fix the doorbell situation just as soon as I am off this call. I'm going to have to take the batteries out. No, I'm not kidding. It's all good. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on Monday. Bye.